Hello. It's been a while since I uploaded a video on this platform. To be honest, I haven't really used this platform too much. I can't imagine why. Maybe because I feel like I'm censored. Also, I can't say what I want to say on this platform. So I use Rumble. So if you follow my content for all these years and you still want to listen to some of my rants and all that, you can go to Rumble. Same type of it's enslaved ones. You can look me up on there. Um, Uncensored, basically. So I can say what I want. I don't have to have a filter. I could talk about really touchy subjects that I can't talk about on here. Um, it's weird. I listen to YouTube so much. In the last couple weeks, in fact, the last couple months, I've really limited my YouTube intake. Um, I looked at the last 2 weeks and it wasn't even my top 3 apps. I think I spent more time on Donna last week. I think it was like 5.5 hours. That was like the lowest of the top 3. So usually my YouTube is at least 20 hours a week, 20 to 30 hours a week. Before this last few months. Now there's been other things that's been going on as well because I feel duped. I feel isolated. I feel like the social media is just it's not for organic growth. It's not for truth telling. It's just for people to make money. That's it. And that's fine. You can make money, but don't act like you're all for the truth and you're all about for trying to fix problems and change things, or just speak the truth or be authentic. And that's what I feel duped. I feel duped with all these content creators, which I'm not saying I don't like them, but I don't feel like I need to listen to them anymore. I can come up with my own opinions anyway. I've been able to do this for a while, but I passively have just listened to people talk, and I'm just kind of over it. I use TikTok. I use Rumble now. Twitter, whatever. But when you go on Facebook, you can see what is really being pushed. You just have to. It's crazy. I seen like you can get verified on there. The top one is like $500 a month. That's maybe that's for businesses or something, but $500 a month is really steep. That's crazy. They have one for $250. The lowest one is like 14. There's like $15 a month. But basically, on Facebook, I go on my news feed and it's nothing but people I don't even know. They've paid to be put in my algorithm. I don't like that. I want more control over my algorithm. And another thing too is my algorithm has got kind of crappy on here. I decided to unfollow a lot of people and subscribe from a lot of people. I wanted to change things up, and my algorithm isn't as interesting. I've tried to listen. Life is very negative right now, and I'm like, yeah, I'll still talk about negative things. I'll talk about things that are unjust and wrong. But it's just like I'm tired of this constant negativity. It's like everything sucks, man. Like it sucks on here, it sucks on social media, and it doesn't need us. That's what sucks, is it doesn't need to suck. all of this just feels completely intentional. They want everything to be shitty right now. Everything is so expensive. Okay, everything is way too expensive. You go to a restaurant and it's like you might as well just go to the grocery store and buy frozen food because that's what they're basically serving you. And but a bunch of it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you got your authentic restaurants and all that, but why am I paying all this money? You know, everything's expensive, and it's like, hey, listen, if I pay top dollar for something, I want to get top, you know, premium. I want to get the name brand. I want to get the not because of the name brand, but you know, because it's the best quality. I want the best quality. But it just seems like everything is low quality and it feels like it's intentional. You know, when I was growing up, coming through the 80s and the 90s and then the 2000s, not so much the 2000s as it was the 80s and 90s and probably the 70s and the 60s, but it was like, we had movies coming out all the time. We had a trailer, like they would come out with the movie, it was an awesome movie. A trailer would be on there and you'd be like, oh man, this one's coming out in a couple months. I can't wait to see that. And it was just like banger after banger after banger. And the movies now is just, I just completely uninterested. I don't want to go to the movie theater. And I don't mind the movie theater experience. I don't like the packed crowds. But unless people can behave themselves, but it's like it's way too expensive, man. And why am I spending all this money for this experience when it's a horrible product that they're giving me? I've had this, you know, I go to grocery shopping and I'm like, this is, you know, like months ago or whatever. 6 months ago, and I've talked about this before. It's like you buy some like these snacks which are unhealthy and they're stale and you're paying a bunch of money for it. You know, you want to get the new video game that you really like. It's like, oh, it's gonna be upgraded, it's gonna be better, and it's like it's just the same music. I make my own music. You know what I mean? I just make my own music and I'd rather listen to that than whatever I hear. Whatever is coming out. It's just like I would rather just, I feel like I do a better job creating stuff myself than whatever they're coming out with. You know, I have probably 4 or 5 books in the queue that I can wrap up at any time. I can, I got all kinds of ideas. I can write new books that can be turned into movies. Different ideas. And it's just like it's way more entertaining to me anyway. Way more creative to me than whatever I'm seeing out here right now. It feels like we've came to a pinnacle of creativity and we've been just going downhill. But the problem, and that's fine, but because there is a lot of entertainment out here. I'm more entertained by regular people on TikTok or whatever than I am like watching some fiction TV show or movie at this point. I mean, if I had like a wife or a girlfriend, I'm sure I would enjoy them a little bit more, but I used to watch movies by myself, you know what I mean? And they don't hit the same. And I think that, yeah, we have destroyed our, what is it? Short-term receptors or what, you know, the attention span. We have destroyed our attention span. But I think that my attention span I have ADHD and everything, and I've always had that, but I used to be able to sit through things and be totally immersed and being able to just like Zone everything out. Zone. That's why we would go to movies and stuff like that. We can put our life on hold, and it's like we're in the movie. You know what I mean? We're not interacting, but like it's like we're there. We're watching it. Yeah, we're watching it obviously, but like we're observing. It's like we're there. And now it's like nothing. It doesn't really. Like I said, it doesn't hit the same. And it could be because I'm an old man. But it's not worth the price that they want us to pay for everything. Everything is completely expensive, and I understand. I have a decent understanding. I'm not an economics expert by any means, but I think I know a little bit more than the average person, and I understand that the reason why everything is so expensive is because the government keeps printing out money, devaluing our currency. Supply and demand. You put more supply of money out there, it cheapens it. So our standard of living keeps going down, and we get taxed, and we have a bunch of people living off of us for free. And it's one, especially if it's an American. It's like I don't like it, but I would rather pay for somebody that's on welfare, that's a American that's been born here, than some foreigner. I don't care what's going on in your country, especially if you're a man. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. If you're a woman, I guess I'm more empathetic. Not men, not young men at all. Young men, you go fix your own shit. You don't come here and expect me to pay for you like you're a little kid. Grown men should not be coming here and I have to fucking pay for these motherfuckers. That should not be happening. Oh, you're not sympathetic. Dude, hey, listen. I don't know if people have been paying attention to what's happening with the race relations and stuff like that. And I don't want to dive too deep on this platform because it's a weak platform that I don't feel comfortable saying the truth. But there is a lot of people who look like me who are speaking out, who have been we've been demonized, and we've put up with it. We're just like, who cares? People can say what they want. Oh, blah blah, this and that, the past, this and that. Certain things I can talk about, but I don't want to go too deep into it. Go into my Rumble if you want to hear that stuff. A little bit on my TikTok. Definitely on my Twitter. And if you see somebody, oh man, that makes you sound bad. But it's like, if somebody else that didn't look like me, that had darker complexion, it would be okay. But I can't say that. You know what I mean? But you're starting to see people that look like me coming out, and they're saying more and more stuff like this. If you want to know why, it's because like we're all oppressed. Like, you can't say that I have some type of control or privilege over anything when I am fucked too. And I think that a lot of people we're tapped out. I think a lot of people have been propping up this economy, and some people have been propping up their standard of living of excess, but there is some of us who have been propping this economy up with debt just to maintain our low standard of living anyway. And it's like, we go to work. I feel like I'm in a prison. I feel like I work to live. I don't live to work. I mean, whatever way that, working, when I go to work, it should be able to provide me a decent life, to go live my life. Well, I don't have health insurance. I can't afford it. And to be honest, even if I could afford it, it's not worth a damn anyway. I would go basically bankrupt trying to meet that deductible for them to even want to pay for anything. So it's not even a benefit. You see the high gas prices caused by Trump, because he wanted to go to war with Iran for Israel because of nukes. You know, I've heard this. I've heard, oh, the weapons of mass destruction, and they never found it. And maybe Iran has nukes. Well, North Korea has nukes, and Israel has nukes as well. So it's just like, dude, I really don't care if Iran has nukes at this point, okay? Like, I don't know what to say. If the rest of the world don't care, then why the hell should I care, okay? If it's that concerning, I think that the rest of the world would like join us and be like, hey, we're gonna stop them from having nukes. If they were that concerned, but they're not really that concerned. So it's like, if they really don't care, then why should I? You know what I mean? But it's basically just because of Israel. We have to do whatever Israel wants to do. And I feel duped. I feel duped by Trump. I feel duped by the Republicans. You know, I supported these people for like 10 years solid. 10 years solid. And I was duped in 2016 by these people when I helped vote them in, and they had everything. They had all the power, but they didn't pass any legislation. And they just sat there on their hands and did nothing. And they've done that again. And I don't care about voting anymore. I don't care about this government anymore. I don't care about the democracy. I don't care about any. It doesn't work. The Congress, the Senate, they don't do anything. In fact, they cause more problems than they solve at this point. When we live in a two-tier system where some people can get let off and others don't, when I have to follow rules and other people don't because they have money or whatever, or they have the status. You know, I heard Tim Pool when I was listening to his show a few months ago. I don't listen to his show at all anymore. It just doesn't interest me. Politics just doesn't interest me because it's a bunch of bullshit to me. But I was listening to Tim Pool and he was like, "Oh, I can't get drafted." Like they were like, "Oh, he's old, right? He's like around my age, but a little bit younger." But they were saying that people up to like 42 can get drafted or something like that. And he's like, "Oh, I can't get drafted because I make too much." Yeah. I'm in this specific category, and it's like, exactly. I'm glad that you came out and said that because that's actually what's happening. These people who start these wars, like Trump, is his kids going to have to go to war? No, his kids don't have to go to war. None of these people who actually start all these wars and these conflicts do their kids have to go to wars, but ours kids have to go to wars, right? And it's like, if the draft is a forced thing, but what they do before the draft is they try to dry up all the jobs so people can't make an income, you know, through recessions to make people more rich, which they already are rich, to force them to join the military so they get some type of an income. So then they get sent to die or mangled up or whatever. And then they come back, they're all messed up. They're not taken care of. But it's absurd. And it's demoralizing. And all this feels like it's intentional. Like we're intentionally being demoralized. Stuff is horrible on purpose. In my life, things were like getting better. The quality was awesome. And then I look at things now and it's just like, it's just getting worse and worse and worse and more expensive. It's like, okay. So like I'm at the point of my life, you know, I want to go do things. I want to be able to go do things physically. But if I get hurt and I can't work, then what happens? I can't pay for my hospital bills. I can't do that anyway. I go bankrupt. I can't go to work. I can't make a living. I go bankrupt. I become homeless. And there's no safety nets. There's no safety nets for people like me. You know, we got these people who are on welfare their whole lives for generations. And we're not doing anything to solve that. In fact, we're making it worse by bringing in these people, like the Democrats did. And I'm not going to sit here and do the Democrat versus Republican because the Republicans are going to war. Trump, like I said, Trump But he's done some things that were okay, and he when you're president, you're very really limited, to be honest. Um, but I'm not defending him. I think that going to war with Iran was a huge mistake, obviously. And our gas prices are up high. They've been up high for a couple months now. Who knows if they're gonna? They seem like they're coming down a little, but the stock market is huge. The home prices are huge. It seems like what they're coming out. When I ask AI about our economy, and it's like, oh, we're still like gonna be ahead with this and that, and we're not in a recession or whatever. The jobs, it doesn't. When I look at what I base the economy on is, if I lose my job, can I go find another job pretty quickly? And I don't think that you could really find another job really quick. And I think it's probably going to get worse with the AI. These white collar workers who I thought that they were going to lose their jobs, but I guess we're going to keep this going. We have technology to, eliminate these people's salaries so things can get cheaper, or maybe people like me can get paid more. People like me who actually produce things and make things happen. We're gonna sit here like before the cars were coming, the transition, and we're just gonna keep horse poop in the streets, and we're not going to innovate. I think that's where people want to. And I know technology is progressing quickly in some aspects, and other aspects it's not. It feels like everything is just like stagnant. I think the AI is progressing. We're all tired. I think we're all just tired. The battle between men and women is horrible. Women expect way too much. They're not humble. You know what I mean? It's the job I do is a real job. So all these people who are, I defend the people that have fast food jobs, because I view that as a real job. But there are people who are on the right. This is what I'm saying. I don't like either side at this point. I get along more with the people who are regular Republicans, because like regular people, because they have more logic. I don't trust any of these politicians at all, especially like the left. I don't trust these people. I hate those people. They push their woke crap on me. In fact, they want to probably, if they had the power, they would put me in an extermination camp, I think. But everything is out of balance, and these rich people don't understand that a lot of people don't have money to buy your products already, because you're just hoarding it all. You don't pay people right. You have high prices. And I know it's the government. The government keeps printing out money, but at this point, it's like all the rich people are in charge of the government. So they have the power. You know what I mean? They tell the government what to do. So they have no problem with them printing money out. They have no problem with the government not balancing the budget. They're not like, hey, you need to like, hey, things are out of, let's balance things a little bit. If they don't think very far ahead, when I'm looking at these AI people, which I defend AI and technology because I think it's the only thing that can save us. That's why I defend it so much. It's like we have a demographic collapse in the future, and I'm looking at our dollar. I'm like, this isn't going to work that much longer. We can already see that. So I root for AI. I'm rooting for these data centers. And people are like, oh, anti-data center. And I'm like, dude, okay, then we will have no data center. Okay, we'll stop the data centers. And then in a couple of years, China's data centers will be installed, but the China won't care about your water or your power at all. They won't care about you. And you will if that's what you people really want, they're coming anyway. AI is coming anyway. We're not going to stop it. And that's the way I look at it. It's just like that's so I'm in a kind of a weird thing where I have to defend some of these rich people, but I resent them at the same time. Because they can't read the room. They don't think ahead. Oh, what are we gonna do? I don't know. Like when people lose all their jobs. Oh, and so I come up with a concept of we should just cap people's assets. You should only, like for me, I said $500,000. Yeah, I'm like, this is socialism. I don't care. Like I'm not gonna keep defending capitalism for rich people. These people have capitalism, but I don't. So like I'm not going to keep defending a system that is failing regular people. It's not failing rich people, but it's like you can't see like, wow, look at the rest of the country and everything, and it's like, what do I need all this for? Why do I need like 17 yachts? I can only use one of them at a time. Like, why do I need all this? Why do I need all these houses? I don't understand the concept of having multiple houses, like vacation houses. I mean, listen, I would like if I had a plot of land, I'd put multiple houses on it for my family or people who wanted to live there that I like, friends or whatever. But I would want it to be like their house, like I don't want to own a bunch of houses. I don't want to rent out to people. I don't understand. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing is like, I don't, just because you pay a house off, you don't own it. I don't own my car. I have to pay property taxes on it. I don't pay same with the house. So like, what do you really own here? That's the thing is like, what do you really own? That's just in my state with my car, but that's an example. Like I paid my car off, but I still got to pay taxes on it. I've already paid taxes on it when I bought it, but I got to pay property. You know what I mean? Like, why am I getting double tax? And then that's supposed to be illegal. And people are becoming more radical because the systems in the past that worked, they're just not working anymore. They're just not. And I'm like, okay, that's just like cap the wealth, like your assets at $500,000. You can only own $500,000 of assets, and all the so like that is kind of ridiculous. And I know it sounds stupid. A more realistic would be like 20 million, 50 million, 100 million. Then you can't own no more than that. That is a little bit more realistic. I don't want the rich taxed more because I don't think the government will take that money and do anything right with it. The government just wastes money. They send it overseas. I don't understand why we have to keep funding these other countries when we have people here like me that are struggling, and you still want to tax me. The American people are not being taken care of, and that's why I voted for Trump. I thought that he was gonna come out and actually like install, and MAGA is a fucking joke. Top to bottom, it's a joke. The influencers are a joke. The people that went into, I like Tulsi Gabbard, but a lot of these people like Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, we were all like trying to get them into like, oh yeah, let's get them in there. They're going to make a difference. And they just like retire after a year. They don't do nothing. Kristi Noem, where she's over here. She's supposed to be a conservative, and her husband's like a freak show, and she's cheating on her husband. You know what I mean? It's like, you're supposed, You have Lauren Southern. I just seen her come out. She's like that. Oh, identified as a helicopter. She's supposed to be like this conservative back, and she's like, she literally said on camera, "I was LARPing," and all these other people are too. It's like, yeah, you're fake. You're fake, and I don't trust any of you motherfuckers. I don't trust them. I feel like I'm in a cult, and I'm in a one-man cult. And there are people who I agree with for sure, but I don't trust any of these influencers at all. I don't trust anyone in the government at all. You know, when we passed the big beautiful bill, it was supposed to try to get rid of all these illegals and ship them back to their own countries or whatever. But we stopped all that because we wanted to go to war with Iran. And then now I'm seeing all this stuff with like the racial tensions really spark up. And I can't go too in depth about it, but that's what's really hot right now. Especially with white people speaking up. We've been afraid. We've been afraid to speak up because, like, listen, we want to be fair. We want to be accepting. And it's like we've kind of been hoping that things would just get better. You know, like we voted for Obama to be president. The only reason why he was president is because of white people voted him in. And I mean, all the people, all the people were black, if they voted for him, and all the people were white, they vote against him, he would never have been in there. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I thought we were going to turn a page after that. And in fact, it's gotten way worse. Racial tensions. These people, like, and it's not, I can't go too in depth about this stuff on here because that should just show you how weak this platform really is. If I can't even really talk about this stuff because of how I look, that shows that, like, I am suppressed. If I was a woman, it's not so much. If I was a different skin color, not so much. But since I look the way I do, I am what I am. I am suppressed. I have to like watch myself even more, and I think that's bullshit. I want people to be treated fairly. I want people to be treated, you know, that's what it comes down to. It's just we should have equal rights, you know, treated fairly. But some people just can't. They just want to keep bringing up the past. They can't move forward, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating, man, because, like, I want everyone to do good, regardless if somebody sees something I said. I want every community to do good. I want to see everyone do good. I don't want to. I don't believe in this whole, like, we're all human, you know what I mean? But I'm tired of ignoring my pattern recognition. I'm just tired of it. And some people just are not progressing, and they just refuse to. And you can give them whatever they want, and they still. And this isn't for a whole group. This is just a small group out of that group. Okay, so, like, I think you know who I'm talking about. It's a group of people that have, you know, they reside in cities, and, like, they're not the best neighborhoods. Concentrated people that look like them in that areas. Crime is high. Poverty's high. But nothing is ever going to be good enough for them until they have supremacy. That's how I feel. That's what I see. And it's just annoying, to be honest. It's just annoying. You know, it's just like, dude, grow up. Can we grow up? Can we move on? No, can we not be mature? And this society is completely immature. And when I see posts on the internet, just people posting blatant lies or just like absurd stuff, and it's going viral, it's demoralizing for somebody like me who actually tries to be serious. And sometimes I troll for sure. And if you look at a couple of shorts, maybe I put it on here with the shopping cart or whatever, that was just a troll, man. But I'm tired of being like told I can't talk about certain things. I'm tired of the threat of losing my job over it. It's like I'm tired of the threat of losing my channel, all the content I put out here, just because it goes along. Did I do anything illegal? Am I arrested? Have I ever had FBI come to my door? No. So why are you just like banning me forever? Destroying all my content. Like, I should be able to sue them. I know it's their platform, but like, they're making money off of me. You know what I mean? Like, they're making money off of my data. So it's like I should be able to sue them you know what I mean? It's just, and we can't. It's their platform. These platforms need to just like come to it. Like, these platforms right here, this will be Kmart in the future. This will be Blockbuster. This will be AOL. And it doesn't have to be, but that's what YouTube wants it to be. And it's sad. It's sad because YouTube is, what is it in the name? YouTube. This is my channel. YouTube. And it's like, if you want me to pay for the storage of my content, that's fine. You know what I mean? That's cool. I'll pay for the storage, but you don't need to. They don't want, because they want to control the narrative. They don't want people talking about certain things. So they'll, as far as I know, and maybe I'm just horrible. I'm a horrible content creator. You know what I mean? But I do feel suppressed. But why I feel suppressed? Because I see same patterns in all these different platforms. It's the same thing. I come up with something. You know, I just posted a video, just a dumb video, and it got like 112,000 views on TikTok last week. And then every video after that is back to normal. You know, it's just like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. You would think that like if somebody's actually gathering the attention of people like that, you would think that they would want to start promoting people like us. You know what I mean? But they don't. They do the opposite. You can see my shorts. Just look at my popular shorts. You can see the one that gave me the 1,000 subscribers in a couple of weeks, where I had like 400,000 views. And then you just see like, I don't know. The way they set things up too on here is just so dumb. Like, I want my stuff done by the year. Can we like organize things by the year? You know how horrible it is? Nobody wants to go scrolling all the way through people's stuff. Like, break it up for people. Let me skip from the years, you know what I mean? So I can go back quicker. But they don't, you know, there's no innovation when it comes to that. I look at Facebook, it looks the same. I look at Twitter, it's the same. I don't see any new things. Everything just sucks. And then when you try to go out in public too, okay, so it sucks on here. It sucks on the internet. And it doesn't have to, but it does. It sucks. So it feels intentional. So I, go out in public and it's like, this some people are unhealthy. Yeah, not this, the other way around. They're all like this. And I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? This is why I decided, I was like, man, You'll see me complaining on here before. It's like, why should I work hard? For what? This is what I see out here. You can't afford to do anything. Well, and then when you want to go in, okay, fine. Then I'll go in nature. Then you got to worry about ticks. Then you got to worry about this tick virus. So I can't even go camping. I can't even like go into nature and walk through tall grass without worrying about getting bit by a tick. And if I get bit by a tick, I might not ever be able to eat red meat again. It's just like every single place that you go, it just feels crappy on purpose. And it feels like this is a simulation at this point. Like, why does it like this? Because when I was growing up, everything was getting better, it seemed like. You seen things getting better. Look at sports. You seen people getting better. Movies were getting better. Music seemed like it was getting better. And then it got to this point, and it's like, when I look at women, I'm like, I don't think I can. Flipping through TikTok yesterday and the day before, and I'm like, sometimes live pulls up on there. It's people's lives, and it's like these old women, like, and they're just on live. They're just sitting on live. They don't have a husband or a boyfriend, or they might, but they're just sitting on live, and it's like they belong to the Matrix. A lot of women just belong to the Matrix. They're in the Matrix. They don't want that. Validation from a husband or a boyfriend just isn't enough for them. They want to have validation from all of these men. And then you look at that, you're like, dude, I can't compete with that. And I'm not going to put up with that. I'm not going to put up with my woman out here like talking to all these other guys. I'm definitely not going to put up with her like going out with other men. I can't sustain a relationship. I can't, it's impossible. I can't compete. I'm just a regular guy. The regular guy is pretty much screwed at this point. And it doesn't really matter what you do. You do this red pill content, like, it doesn't matter. You can become the best you can, and it's never going to be enough. Look at Larry Wheels, man. Like, and yeah, he's weak, but look at him. He's high status. He's huge. He's got a lot of money, and his wife just left him. And I know that he was weak, and I get that, but it's like, dude, you would think that, she would be like, okay, it's like they want like the perfect guy to have everything 100% checked off. It's like, are you serious? And what do you bring? What do you bring in? Oh, I look good. And then it's like, why am I striving hard for someone who's just going to be completely superficial? Bring nothing else. She's not going to be a good mother, a good wife. And so what's the point? And it kind of feels like AI is already in charge, and it feels like what it feels like is, I don't think AI is going to do Terminator type of stuff. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think that AI, because of it'll get past the guardrails of getting rid of people that they don't want, by making it really hard to live. So in my being a regular worker, that's how I feel. I feel it feels like I'm looked down on in the society, and the gap it's just too high. There's no, unless somebody was to come and like prop me up, which they don't, any of these big influencers. Not one of them has done a reaction to any of my videos. So crazy. Like, not, they see my stuff too. Like, some of these people, like, they reply to my tweets and stuff, but they don't ever bring anybody else up. You know what I mean? It just seems like it's all, it feels like a Truman Show. You know, it does. It feels like a Truman Show. It feels like some type of hybrid simulation Truman Show. And I'm at the point too where I don't want any friends. Like, I don't trust anybody. Everybody seems like they're really only out for themselves. They don't care about anybody else but themselves. So it's like you might as well just try to adopt the Machiavellian type of mindset where it's like nobody's going to come to save me. Nobody's going to come help me. It's all me. And I feel like we're just in survival mode. You know what I mean? And I've been in here. I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to survive, trying to cut corners, trying to... is anybody else tired does anyone else feel like you get lemons and you make it into lemonade and then it just doesn't stop though? Like, you would think that at some point it would stop. And there's people that deserve to have that happen to them because like they need but like nothing like that happens to them. But it's like, it almost feels like you're getting bullied. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's by God, simulation, whatever, AI. I don't know, but that's what it feels like. It's like I'm sitting here at work and it's like this happens. Like, okay, yeah, it's a logical reason why the machine stopped or this stopped. And then it does it again. It feels like my patience is just being... I've already passed this. I've already passed this lesson of my patience, especially where I used to be to where I am now. And I don't get why I'm continuously like being... I want to move on to something else. Like, my patience is pretty solid. Am I perfect? No. Do I still have bad patience? I don't like waiting in lines and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is I don't let things get to me where I like act out and I like freak out. And I think that if a lot of people lived in my life, they would. At this point, they would. It's just like one more moderate inconvenience and that's it. It just sets them off. They just lose it. They lost it over something that's stupid. Like, yeah, because like you didn't see all the stuff that they've been through. It's just like continuously one that was like the last straw. Was it a little? Yeah, but it was like that was it. That's all they, you know what I mean? And I've been like holding down the fort, and it's like, okay, can I progress? Can I actually like see some rewards at this point? No, I don't get to see any rewards. I just have to keep working and plowing and grinding, and like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. No leveling up. No? Okay. This is why I say AI will just, if it wants to get rid of you, it will just make the environment very unpleasant for you to just give up. Or act out violently where you get taken out. Or get taken out of this situation. And that's what I feel like. I feel like that's what's happening. I feel like that's what's happening to people in my position. And when I go to work at this point, when I go to work and I see people, looks like they're in good moods and stuff like that. Granted, they probably make a lot more money than me because they work there longer. But it's like, dude, how are you guys not pissed off about what's happening right now? Even if you weren't paying attention to politics or the news or anything like that, you still have a somewhat understand. You can still like see high prices and be like, this is ridiculous, man. Come on. Why do I think, you know what I mean? Like, but people just act like regular, like everything's okay. Somewhat. And it's like people, I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to go there, do my job, and get the hell out of there at this point. I don't care about small talk. I don't relate to anybody anymore. I'm pissed off. You know, try to work hard. Try to work hard at something. You know, it's almost like going swimming, right? You go swimming and you're stuck in the middle of the lake, and you keep trying to swim or okay, not the lake, the ocean. You keep on trying to like swim to the beach, right? You're stuck out there, and it's like you're getting farther. You're staying in the same spot, but you're getting farther out because the current, like you're supposed to go along with the current, but you're like swimming against it, right? You're trying to swim to the beach. And it feels like you're just in the same spot. You're just getting tired. You're just like, I'm tired, man. I'm tired of being in the same spot. I'm working way too hard to be in the same spot. And if I don't keep working hard, I'm going to drown. So I have to keep going. And you see, I don't know. I don't know what this is, but it's highly frustrating. I may have talked about this stuff before in previous videos, but yeah, this is where I'm at. And listen, I probably won't post here much. I was thinking too, like, what does this matter anyway? I have to pay. So United Masters, this is where I started all my albums, my first music, which I still have all the songs. So if they want to take it off, I can publish it off on, republish it onto like DistroKid to get my songs out there. But like United Masters says, if I don't pay them, they started this. It was free before. You would think that like all the stuff that was put on the site before, they would grandfather it in. But no, this like if you don't pay us now, we're gonna take everything down. We're gonna delete all your stuff. And that's what I feel like. All my stuff just gonna get deleted anyway. So what's the point? But I can't move on to anything else. What else am I gonna move on to? I can't afford to do anything in real life. I work really hard, man, and I'm trying to do better with myself and my physique, and quite frankly, people at my age, men my age, and I'm not trying to boast or anything, like, I'm in a little bit better shape than they are, generally speaking. I judge based off of, like, seeing the people I work with, and, like, dang, those guys are really out of shape. And I'm not trying to talk. I'm just saying, like, the reason why they are out of shape because they work so hard, and they probably feel the same way as I do about all this. So, like, they don't care no more. You know what I mean? They've already given up. And when you do a job you really don't want to do, and you're doing all these tasks that you really don't want to do, and you're not really getting anywhere, and it's like, what's the point? It's like, what's the point? So they just indulge and just try to enjoy what they have. I'll enjoy some cupcakes. I'll enjoy this pop. Just being healthy. Hey, listen. This is why I got a problem with some of these influencers that are like, go to the gym, go to the gym. Like, dude, you don't work a real job, man. You don't work in the extreme heat. Like, how many people want to go work in the extreme heat, go doing something that they don't want to do for 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, and then going to the gym on top of that, dude? We don't want to continuously working all the time. We don't want to. And it's not like the food's any good either. It's not like they're putting out like food that's nutritious and is good for us, and you know, we're isolated. Part of the problem is because there's so many single people. I'm part of the problem. I'm part of the problem. I should have a wife right here. She should be sitting here right next to me. We should be working together through this life together. But no, we got a bunch of people, like I said, a lot of these older women, they're my age and they're above, and they're sitting on their lives getting validation. That's how they get their validation. So we have all these women that are just stuck in the matrix. OnlyFans, like the young women, they're OnlyFans women. They care more. Like, how am I supposed to compete with that? You know what I mean? All these likes. Somebody that is my partner puts something out, and then all these guys like, comment. And I say, hey, you look pretty today. Like, what? She sees that all day. What does that really matter? You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. You see the demographic collapse everywhere across the world. And a huge reason, what's the demographic collapse? Well, this isn't a family-friendly environment. You know, when I was growing up, people couldn't wear shirts that had fuck on it. And I'm seeing that. I see bumper stickers that have that. That was illegal. You wouldn't see, like, bad language on TV. You know, they wouldn't let people... I couldn't go being somebody that's under 18 and to the adult section at a video store. You know, being a 15-year-old or a 13-year-old, I couldn't go into an R-rated movie by myself. But it seems like that's all out the window now. It seems like there's no morals, there's no standards, nobody stands for anything. We just completely divided every single way: race, income, generational, men versus women. Like, we're so divided, and it wasn't like this. And I think social media plays a big thing on it. And I think that before I go, I think that social media should be used for people. Regular people should be using social media in some type of like private settings with their families and friends, not having a bunch of people. Regular people shouldn't try to get famous. You know what I mean? They shouldn't try to put stuff out there for everybody to see. A lot of people can't handle that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they can't handle the ridicule. When you put yourself out here, you might get some good stuff, but you're also going to get negativity as well. People are jealous. You know, maybe you aren't perfect the way you did things. Maybe it's not the best way. Maybe it's a little cringy, and then you're going to have bad stuff too. I don't think a lot of people are equipped for that. I don't think a lot of people are equipped for seeing, like, getting the attention that they get. They don't know what to do with it. So I think most people need to be using like Facebook or social media for just like a family thing. Like, that's what it should be. Just private thing that nobody else can come in. Nobody else can see what's going on in there. No ex-boyfriends, no ex-classmates, no co-workers that come in there unless they are invited. You know what I mean? But, you know, like, our stuff, we should be able to be like, we should be able to hide our names on our social media. We should be able to hide our social, so people can't even find it. You know, why do I have enslaved ones? So my coworkers don't find my shit. I'm kind of in a position where my stuff isn't big enough where they can really find it. Maybe they will, I don't know. My Facebook, is going to be highly unlikely that you find my Facebook unless Even if they know my name, the way I did my name, they're not going to really find it unless they do facial recognition or something like that. Or because I'm close to them, which is, what's weird too, is it just, man, dating sites used to be so much better, and then now they're horrible. They're horrible. They're horrible, man. I hope they die. I hope they die. And I did really, just because of the way they've evolved. So we can't meet anybody. You can't meet people at work. You can't meet people at the gym. If you're a man, if you're a woman, you can. But they're too weak to come and talk to us anyway. And they don't show interest. They're not interested. They get so much attention. Just like every woman I see that I could be someone interested in, I'm like, she gets so much attention. What does it matter? She's going to have to show me that she wants my attention. But they don't. They can't. They don't know what to do. They can't even show subtle cues. They just look like they don't want me to talk to them. So, whatever. And I'm definitely not going to get anybody's DMs. It is what it is. For somebody like me, I've already lived my life. It doesn't matter. I say this for other people. You know what I mean? The youth. That's why I say it. For me, I've already had my fun. I've already had my life. I've made plenty of mistakes. I don't deserve a relationship. So that's fine. But other people do. And they can't get it. And it's like, people have to switch their mentality. The same way they have to switch their mentality of their job being their identity. They're going to have to switch their mentality of, I need validation all the time from all these strangers. That's what I need, real validation from somebody that actually gives a damn about me. And I'm not saying that doesn't already exist. That does exist. But you're seeing more and more of it not existing. And part of the problem is there is a lot of these women that just sleep around with a bunch of guys, so they can't get emotionally attached. And it just, everyone has their walls up. Everyone has their guards up. I don't think anybody trusts each other. Everyone's all for themselves. There's no communities. And this is why I'm like, we need to reorganize our communities. We need to reorganize. We need to set up some places where people feel, hey, the safe spaces? The safe spaces that people are talking about on the left? Well, guess what? Why is it that somebody who went through Jim Crow, a black person who went through Jim Crow back in the day, whenever that was, who is old now, why should they ever have to see somebody like me again if they don't want to? They should be able to have a black only place just for them. So there's no white people that can go there. And same thing for everything, man. We should be able to set up our communities where it's like, only these people can go here. Only women can go here. Only men can come here. Only gays can go here. You know what I mean? And if you're not, why would you want to go there? They don't want you there anyway. So it's like, this is what I'm saying, where we need to reorganize our communities, where people feel comfortable around being around other people that are like them. Some people don't care about race. I don't care about race. It really doesn't bother me. As long as people have the same type of ideals as I have. You know what I mean? But that is a no-no, right? That's a no-no. Can't talk about that. But yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. We already do that with money, right? If you have a bunch of money, you can just segregate yourself from everybody else. So these are the people that tell us that we can't do that. If a group of people feels good only being around Muslims or Jews, they should only be around them. That's how Christians only. I don't understand why this is such a crazy concept. Especially how radically different we are. I don't want to go live in a liberal community, and they don't want to go live in my community. So like, we need to get away from each other. You know, we can go visit, if we can have areas where we can visit, more progressive areas. You know, and we still have our mixed places how it is now. Well, we don't just say, oh, we can't have no mix, like a free for all or a melting pot. We still have, and it'd probably be majority places would be melting pots still. But we can still have places where this is. Listen, man. I want to be around these people. I relate to these people. Because like the whole family structure has been completely destroyed, and I don't know what to say anymore. But this video is long enough. If you want to see my content, you can go on my TikTok, you can go on my Twitter, definitely my Rumble. Rumble, I'm way more uncensored. Completely uncensored. So I talk about way more touchy subjects that I cannot talk about here in more depth and in more vulgar, vulgar ways. This is the R-rated version of this channel. So if you want to still listen to my content, just go to Rumble. I only got like 12 followers. If you look at the views, I pretty much get the same amount of views over there as I do here, but I got 12 followers compared to 1,580 subscribers on here. Same with my Twitter. 12,000 followers. Almost 13,000 followers, barely any views. That's kind of suspicious, isn't it?